Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So hope everyone is doing okay tonight. I'm playing makeup from yesterday, so it wasn't really makeup. It's just I had a bunch of videos I wanted to do. Let's see. I'm checking my sound. Guys, I want to thank everyone for the help you give to the channel. It is all appreciated. I had a different story that I wanted to do tonight, but seeing as the elections are taking place, I figure let's deal with those stories. The one race I've been paying attention to has been the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez versus Invisible Man Joe Crowley in New York. Now, this particular race has been pretty amazing because this 28-year-old has come out of nowhere and has ran hard left right at him. And Crowley has seemed incapable of dealing with this particular challenge, meaning standing there, one before the other, in both times, in both debates. Crowley fell to pieces. Mr. Jello. Jello and hot water. So, this election is going to be interesting. Now, as it goes down to the wire, both camps have been alleging certain things. Ocasio-Cortez has put out a tweet saying that Joe Crowley is breaking the law, or at the very least somebody is breaking the law. These signs. So let me explain this. Going back to, say, the last race in New York, just to explain it, this is a 2016 article, but it's going to explain the legalities in New York within regards to these signs. Casting a ballot on Tuesday, New York's presidential primaries, leave the buttons and stickers at home. Supporters of the Democratic presidential hopeful Bernie Sanders have been spreading a graphic on social media warning fellow Bernie backers that it's against the law to wear pro-candidate buttons, stickers, t-shirts to vote. New York law prohibits electioneering within 100 feet of the entrances to polling places when polls are open. That includes any political banner, button, poster, placard, according to Section 8-104 of the state's election law. John Conkin, a spokesman for the State Board of Elections, said the basic curriculum of the poll workers teaches them to enforce the electioneering ban. Generally, Conklin said, poll workers don't make a quote-unquote big deal of it. Rather, they would ask you to remove your hat or your button or cover up your pro-candidate shirt. If the person is actually campaigning for a candidate and causing a disturbance, the poll worker can have the person removed. Conklin wrote in an email, a poll worker can technically be charged with a misdemeanor if they spot electioneering and don't try to stop it. The pro-Bernie meme claims the electioneering ban is rarely enforced when it comes to memorabilia, but will be enforced Tuesday. That's not true, according to Conklin. The ban is enforced every election, he said. It's always enforced, Conklin said. We get calls on electioneering every election, every year. All right, so let's apply that to what we're seeing here. These are placards of Crowley. Her tweet. Third poll site today where Joe Crowley has violated the law. You can see the poll site entrance. This one is at PS 105 in the Bronx. BOE in Eats. At the point where 100% of our poll site visits have violations, perhaps all sites should do a quick check for materials in 100 feet. There's more. If you see a Representative Joe Crowley sign within 100 feet of a polling site, snap a photo and take it down. Then send the photo to us at us@ocasio2018.com. Here's another polling site violation in Queens, 94th Street and 34th Avenue.
This is the Crowley poster, and this is the polling site.
Somebody said these are signs of a desperate man. All right, there's more to this, by the way. So, here's another one. Hours later, Ocasio-Cortez claimed Crowley get out the vote team was taking her campaign posters and putting them on trees, trying to ratchet up $10,000 worth of fines. Hearing that Team Joe Crowley is taking out campaign posters, affixing them to trees, and then reporting them to New York City's sanitation to fine us. They're trying to ratchet us with $10,000 worth of fines. If you see anyone affixing our posters illegally, stop them and take a photo. Wow. Wow. That's intense. Crowley spokeswoman Lauren French denied the congressman's campaign volunteers were doing any of this, but the two camps have been trading blows about the election fairness for weeks. Now, look, this is the honest thing. Clearly I'm for Ocasio-Cortez to win this race. I like her. I absolutely like her. But do I know for certain that these guys weren't doing that to each other? Meaning in the same way that she would come out and say, here's a photo of a Joe Crowley sign. How did she know that her camp wasn't doing that also? Even if she didn't know anything about it. And it's politics. She might have known something about it, sent those people out there, and then sent a tweet. Yes, I know that sounds fucking insane, but keep in mind, whatever is true here, something like that is taking place either way. Either somebody in their camp is putting up signs, or somebody in their camp is putting up somebody else's signs in order to get the other person in trouble. I don't know. I err towards the side of her because she's on my wavelength and Crowley is not. But it's just a flat fact. No clue. But essentially they are trading barbs with one another. Now here's something else that I liked. Right here. Last month, the challenger told City and New York State that unnamed sources warned her to install poll watchers on election day to prevent tampering with election machines. Crowley's campaign called that Trump-esque. In an interview with Washington Post last week, Ocasio-Cortez clarified that she was not worried about the integrity of the count, but about the Queen's Democratic Party, led by Crowley, making last-minute moves on polling sites. Voting in New York is so bad, and there's always this air of plausible deniability, she said. But the City Board of Elections literally admitted to guilt in court after the city opened an investigation into that. They admitted guilt 6 months ago in court. That reference was to a city election foul-up that had become legendary on the left. The decision by the Board of Elections to remove more than 100,000 voters from the rolls before 2016 primary. But state and local Democratic parties have not been involved with the decision. Yeah, that's a little... Okay. I know that Crowley wants to make it seem like some Trumpian fake news thing, said Ocasio-Cortez, citing a report on voting problems in the state. Last-minute poll sites changes are heavily concentrated in communities of color, Ocasio-Cortez continued. I don't think that the stuff ballot boxes... But it's a fact that poll monitors are politically appointed. By who? The party county chairs. Who's the party county chair? My opponent. Asked about those comments, French said that Ocasio-Cortez was advocating Trump-esque claims designed to undermine the faith and trust in the electoral system. Well, here's the thing. What you didn't say is that what you said wasn't true. You couldn't say that what you said wasn't true. And by the way, do I believe that somebody who's been in that office in New York politics for the last 21 years, who's ensconced themselves into the Democratic apparatus, do I believe that they wouldn't necessarily take steps to make sure that they have some advantage in the process? It's politics. Of course they'll take steps to take advantage of the process. And they would immediately turn around and say, that's a Trump-esque comment that she's making on the faith and integrity of our electoral system. And she puts her hands and she says, pledge allegiance. It's politics. Let's go. Let's keep going. So that's what's taking place right now at this very moment. And the beautiful thing about this, look, that means that Ocasio-Cortez has this understanding that pervades the left. And you can even make an argument also pervades the right. To not just automatically trust the end result of the vote, and to not automatically trust that your opponent is going to play fair. I love that. You must understand, it's one of those things where it's almost like you feel like you're beating on a wall, and there's a disconnect between where part of the left is, especially the base, and where people who are running are. And it seems like the gap closed to some degree on that, where she's at least aware of saying, I don't trust this process. I don't trust Crowley. I don't trust this process. I don't trust this democratic machine. I don't trust it. I love that. I love that. I love that. It makes me think that she's serious about actually trying to win. Let's see. Is there anything else that's coming up on her account? I mean, they're in the middle of a run. Yeah. So that's what's taking place now. Ocasio-Cortez, Joe Crowley, trading barbs at one another on election day. I think polls close pretty soon, so I'm going to keep track of what's taking place throughout the course of the night, or at the very least for the next hour or so, to see if a result is made. And I'm hoping this is. I want him taken out of that seat. You have no idea how much I want him taken out of that seat. Let's see. I don't know about the gas chamber, but if he gets cancer, send him my way. It'll help. I'd take his money, but maybe he would become a nicer person for it. Oh, geez. What's taking place? Who's getting cancer? Crowley, slimy fucking weasel molded in the form of a Pelosi. Well, he's trying to take her seat, right? He's trying to take her seat. So, yeah, he's trying to take her seat. All right, I'm not going to keep this one long because I have another one up that I want to do. This one wasn't on the menu. It was just kind of an update of what's taking place in the election so far. We are waiting results to come in. I'm waiting for results to come in. And these guys are trading barbs at one another. It's like, who do you believe? I could believe both, to be honest. If she's playing in New York politics, I don't necessarily assume she's however she looks as this innocent 28-year-old. I don't necessarily assume that the innocent 28-year-old, I assume that's the image in the same way that being black or Hispanic or lesbian or gay, whatever. All those things are whatever they can use at their disposal. I take that to be part of an image. What is she willing to do to win that seat? I don't know. Who knows? But we will see. I got to be honest, though. I'm more inclined to believe her. But I know I'm more inclined to believe her because I actually like her. So, Edward Klein, Alexandria is so beautiful. She is attractive. She is very easy to look at. George says the polls close at 9 p.m. All right. We have an hour and 6 minutes. An hour and 4 minutes. Hour and 4 minutes. All right. Fingers crossed. Ugh. I want her to win. I want her to win. It's like, yeah, man, I want her to win. Joe Crowley has been in that seat for 21 years, and now he's Johnny-come-lately to all this stuff and trying to call himself a progressive. He got creamed in those debates. Like, I don't know how much of New York saw those debates, but God, he got creamed. If somebody was looking at that, and you're looking at these two quantities, one of these quantities look like they are fired up and they want it, and the other quantity looks like he can't explain his failure. I make the point that it looks like in those debates that Crowley was trying to explain to his wife why he's stumbling in at 2 a.m. with somebody's lipstick on his collar. That's how it sounded in those debates. It has nothing to do with her being a woman. It has everything to do with him not being able to essentially create a record for himself. Like, what do you represent? What do you stand for? The only thing that he could clearly identify was guns. And he could identify that because he has no money from the NRA. So, yeah, there's that. Yeah, so I'm going to end this here. Let me make sure. All right. If you guys enjoy the content, please feel free to share, like, subscribe. You can always support through Patreon. I'm going to be back in a few to talk about this particular election case. That's if I'm up. If I'm still up and I'm still aware, I'll try to come back with the election results. So, see you guys soon. In fact, I'll see you guys in a few because I think I have a story immediately after this. Thanks, everyone. And